So I wake up because I hear this woman screaming, right? And I'm on the floor of this cheap motel. I have half a clown suit on. My face is made up like Gene Simmons. I'm surrounded by oranges. And I'm trying to understand what this woman is saying because she sounds like she's speaking Russian. And is this thing on? Oh my God. Hey, welcome to another Trippy food installment of Tales from the Vaults. I'm going to show you today some lost footage from 2013. So I got some peacock. Now actually, peafowl is the technical term for the male or female. In this case, it was actually a peacock. I got some peacock from my friend Anshu at Exotic Meat Market and decided to cook that. And there is, I found the footage of me cooking this from 2013. So without further ado, here is me cooking peacock from 2013. Enjoy.
Hi, Valentino here from Trippy Food, and today I'm going to be cooking something rather extraordinary. I have a peahen here, peahen being the female of the peacock being the male. This I got from exoticmeatmarket.net, and I kind of wrestled a little bit with how I was going to cook it because this bird has been skinned, so there's no skin on there, which generally has a little bit of fat and adds some moisture to it. This has been skinned, so the meat is exposed. It looks like there's some amount of fat on there, but it looks relatively lean, so I don't want to dry it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow cook it in a crock pot, and I'm going to coat it with tangerine, one, so that the citric acid breaks it down a little bit, but two, so that we get some moisture in there, and three, so to give it kind of that sweet flavor. I'm also going to use, I don't want it to be spicy. I'm going to use some cinnamon, some clove, and I initially wanted to do it sort of like something from the Indian subcontinent, which is basically where you find these. But I just opted for just something a little bit different, and like I said, I want something citrusy and sweet with a little bit of spice, and so we're going to slow cook this. And I particularly like that the legs were left on. You can see the claws here and a little spike on the leg. So I think presentation-wise, it's going to be something interesting, unless it completely falls apart in the crock pot. So we'll get started and see what we come up with. Okay, so I'm going to start by basically taking these tangerines and I'm going to cut them in half, and I'll take the first one. I'm actually going to rub it onto the peahen. Oh man, those smell good. Try to get some of these seeds out, and I'm going to go ahead and proceed to just rub this all over the bird. I imagine these claws are not going to be edible, but I'm going to leave them on for presentation because they look scary as hell. A good dish for Halloween. So I'm going to put her in my crock pot, and this is crazy. She just fits. I don't know. It's going to be pretty tight, but I think it'll work. So it just fits there. I'm going to squeeze the rest of the tangerine out. And I'm actually going to take the two spent tangerines. I'm going to put that inside the body cavity, and hopefully that'll impart some flavor. Okay, I'm going to pour a little white wine in, and I'm going to kind of put it around it, not so much on it. I just want some on the bottom to add some moisture in there and some flavor, and I think that's probably going to be enough. And now I'm going to dust it with spices. So I'm going to start with my cinnamon. Maybe that's a little too much dust. My clove. And finally, fennel seed. Add just a little bit of salt. And a little bit of black pepper. I'm I'm not going to add any vegetables. I'm not going to add any additional ingredients into this. I'm just going to cook it like this. I'm going to be serving this with dirty peacock rice. I'm just going to cover this. And that just fits. And I'm going to put this on high. And that's probably going to cook for, it's a pretty large bird. It's probably going to cook for about 5 hours. Now I'm going to make what would normally be called dirty rice, but it's not really dirty rice. I'm going to call it filthy liar rice, and I'm going to be using the peacock in it. So basically I'm using a 4 rice blend. So we've got red, long grain, wild, and brown. And for instead of the water, about half of it I'm going to use the broth from the peacock. And what's going to happen with that is that it's going to have some of that tangerine and spice taste, which is not going to be Cajun whatsoever. So be it, and then I'm going to put the rest of water. I'm going to put the rest of water and get that started. So while the rice is cooking, I pulled the neck off, and essentially a dirty rice is going to have some sort of sausage or ground meat in it. I decided I want this to be all peacock, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the meat off the neck, and I'm going to use that instead of ground meat in the rice. Now I've cut up my my onion, my celery, some garlic, and I think typically it would have jalapeno peppers in it, but I decided I was going to try different color bell peppers, especially because this is a peacock we're talking about, so I think all our colors are represented here. And then I minced the liver, which if you've ever done that before, if you haven't done that before, I don't think you want to. It wasn't pleasant, and so I'm going to start my rice. Okay, I'm going to start with my vegetables, and obviously I want to start with my celery because it's the crispest first. I think I'm going to mix the garlic in there as well right now. I want that to get nice and translucent. Now I'm going to add my onions. And now my peppers. I think it's going to be pretty colorful. I just hope it tastes good. I'm going to add the meat that I got off the peacock neck, and it wasn't very much. I found out the hard way that the neck has a very, very thick membrane of skin that runs around it, and there's not much meat underneath it, so unfortunately we didn't get too much meat off of that. I gotta tell you, just the smell of this alone is crazy good. I mean, oh man, it's just, and all it is vegetables and just a little bit of the neck meat, but I'm gonna go ruin it all here by adding the liver. And this could get ugly fast. Now, since I'm making filthy liar rice and not dirty rice, it's okay that I didn't quite get the liver down to a fine enough consistency. Typically, with dirty rice, it would almost be like a silt. It would be very, very fine. This is going to be kind of grainy, but you know what? I don't care. So, I'm ready to add my rice. And this rice came out a little bit sticky, so I don't know how well it's going to hold up to frying, but we'll see. And I'm going to add my spice, a little bit of chili powder, some Jamaican allspice, and again, I'm not using Cajun spices, so sue me, black pepper, and some salt. And I'm just going to mix this all up. And voila, filthy liar rice. Oh, it smells good. Let's have some. Okay, well, we've plated this, and so here's the finished product. I have my leg of peacock or peahen, not sure which, and my filthy liar rice up the middle, so try to be creative with it. But now we're going to actually taste this thing and see what it tastes like. So I picked a leg section. It's usually a darker meat. I don't know if that holds true with a peacock. It's a different kind of bird, but we'll see. Okay, now we're going to taste this, and we're going to see how it came out. Okay, so even though it was skinned, there's still this membrane that's a little bit chewy. Now, aside from the obvious, I have to say it doesn't taste like chicken. The spices I put on it aren't overpowering. I don't even taste the tangerine. The meat itself, close to a turkey, but it definitely didn't taste like turkey. I don't know. It's definitely a bird, but it has a very unique taste. It's a mild taste, nothing gamey about it. It's good. Now let's try a little of the filthy liar rice. And I was worried that using the broth that had the white wine and the tangerine in it, it would flavor the rice that way, but I'm not tasting it. I do taste the bird in it, and the liver isn't overpowering and strong, which I thought it would be because there seemed to be a considerable amount in there. So actually, this dish came out pretty good. I'd eat this again.
Thanks for checking out Trippy Food. If you enjoyed watching that video half as much as I did making it, well then I enjoyed it twice as much as you did. And if that's the case, you'll probably like this video right here. And if not, check out this video right here. That one's a little bit different. Either way, leave a comment down below. And be sure to subscribe by clicking on the Trippy Food icon right here. Glad you could make it, and we hope to see you again soon.